Happy Monday, March 2nd, 2026, everybody. This is Gen X Speaks. Today, I'm redoing this video. I did it on the way to work this morning, and I didn't like the way it came out, so I'm just redoing this. Basically, I want to talk about the, Operation Epic Fury. I'm sure Pete Hegseth loved coming up with that name. Anyway, so what I want to talk about specifically was what I think is going to happen as a result of this incursion. And it's debatable as to whether this was it's been suggested that Israel decided on their own, fuck it, we're going to go in, we're going to do this. And so Trump's hand was kind of forced and had to go in on it as a result. Now, today I'm hearing some interesting news. I'm hearing things like I was listening to UK news, and there was some complaining about Starmer's reaction, kind of not being non-committal about it. And I heard that Australia and Canada have actually okayed it, which is kind of amazing because Canadians fucking hate us right now, particularly hate Trump. So it's kind of amazing that Canada would agree with this, or Australia for that matter. Nonetheless, on to what's happening, what I think is going to happen. So this action, and I'm going to call it a war because essentially it is a war. Trump just made a statement saying that he expects it to last 4 to 5 more weeks, but it could go longer. It's like, thank you, Captain Obvious. But what this is going to do is destabilize Iran. There's a power vacuum in place now. Although the Republican Guard is still very much in action, lobbing missiles at pretty much everywhere in the Middle East. And I believe the purpose for that is to get those countries angry at the United States, angry at Israel. Look at what you did. Now, we're having to deal with these missiles coming at us. I don't think the Republican Guard's going to win in the end. I definitely think that. I shouldn't say that because with the power vacuum, we don't know who's going to come out on top of this. We know how this is going to go. Certainly, because the Ayatollah is gone, it doesn't mean that there aren't people in the wings waiting. So, if it devolves into civil war, which I believe it will, the people with the weapons, the power, are going to eventually they're going to probably take over. The only advantage Iranians have is that there are a lot more of them. Now, how do you stop this from happening? How do you stop the Republican Guard from taking over in a potential Iranian civil war? Well, the only way to do that is to send troops in. So guess what will be next on the agenda for the United States? Not Israel, by the way. They're just going to send us. We'll do that, and we'll try to get some kind of coalition of the willing to go into another fucking quagmire, in the Middle East of our own making. So that's the way I see it going with Israel. As for Donald Trump, I can totally see him, eventually just pulling straight out, at least on a temporary basis, and say, "See, look, I stopped another war. That's 9." I don't know what the other 8 were because if I can figure it out. But, and I can also see Bibi taking credit for this with the Zionist world. Look, we stopped our existential threat to Israel, and now we're going to continue bullying our neighbors. So that's the result I see in the near future with regard to this war. What we should be thinking about as Americans is the fact that the president did this of his own volition. He did not get a declaration of war from Congress to do this, which is illegal. It is constitutionally illegal. It is against our founding document. And to boot, a 1981 law that Ronald Reagan put on the books regarding a president not being able to assassinate leaders, specifically Also violation. The United Nations has apparently, and I've seen one legitimate news outlet say this. I have not corroborated it, but supposedly the United Nations is now putting his name on as a war criminal, as arrestable. So I don't know. We'll see. But we should be impeaching him and removing him. Congress, by all rights, should be like, yeah, you crossed the line. It is not for you to decide this. So here's the thing. Donald Trump believes that our military is his military. He believes it's the Donald Trump military. He believes that they work for him. He's the commander in chief, but the entire military, including him, are the people's military. He's the commander in chief, the people's commander in chief. That is what a president does. You're elected by the people. Our representatives are elected by the people. Our military, therefore, is the military of the people, not of the president. It is not your personal fucking army. You are not a king when you're president. And this is the inherent problem we have right now. He goes in to sovereign nation Venezuela, removes its leader. Imagine if that happened here. Let's say China were to parachute in and pull Donald Trump out of Mar-a-Lago. What do you think would happen then? But because Venezuela doesn't even have much in the way of conventional weapons, much less nuclear weapons, and that's not going to happen. Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. So yeah, sure, we can attack them. Try it with North Korea. Try it with China. Try it with Russia. I wonder why we don't do that. We have disagreements, right? We're at odds, right? Why don't we just attack them? There might be a reason for that. These are cowards' actions. These are the actions of cowards. Okay, look, I don't like Iran. Full disclosure, I hated the Ayatollah. Full disclosure, I hated the Republican Guard. I hated the whole regime in Iran. I have since they took over in 1979. Okay? But I don't hate the Iranian people. I think a lot of those people are victims of that regime. But this is not the way we do things. This is not the way a civil society behaves. Now you've put Americans in danger. We have unalived American soldiers coming back. Not to mention unalived children in schools in Iran. Unalived people in hotels that were attacked as a result of this attack. It just continues. It just continues and continues and continues. Humans are fucking stupid. We're just stupid and we never learn. Anyway, food for thought for today. You all have a good day.